Yo, hello, 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 hello. I have returned. Just like how I'm always late. I am always modding, and today I'm going to open something. Which is, of course, this. And bagging a little. However, this is pretty crazy. And I will eventually have to port this, of course. However, I will run this right now and we will see. We'll look at a few things, in fact. So what I'll be doing today is I will be looking at something. Quite a lot of them, in fact. But I will not be, hopefully not be streaming longer than I really need to. Because today, I want to finally watch some stuff, I don't know. I'm going to make this a relatively large window so it lags less. It really does lag less. It's kind of counterintuitive, but I guess it works. So, in any case, my UI is absolutely massive. So, now of course, why is this a functional block? Why is infested stone? Why are these functional blocks? In any case, right, we have a lot of things here. Obviously the eggs, they still work, as you can see. Yes, they do. And we have the glowstone that of course works as well. Now I don't think I've ever had resin in my life in my inventory in Minecraft. Crazy, I just play the game way too little to actually appreciate everything that is being added in the new updates. Hope that will change throughout summer, but I highly doubt that. Because I will be spending quite a lot of time on other projects. And if we finally manage to start this massive project, that is a really stupid idea. I could have, you know, if if I didn't know me and, you know, if I didn't know Lumpus and me as well as I do, I would have not believed you or anyone if they told me that this idea was that we had came up while we were totally sober. And didn't have at least 20 beers, and that is kind of crazy. And so in any case, I have these. The first 4 items that I've added, right? I swear the in-game sound is just too loud. Yeah, that is... I think that is more appropriate. So, these ice creams do not all look very good. And I think they're missing an attribute, in my opinion. And that would be that they aren't returning sticks when you eat them. Because every food that actually has a part of the food that is being crafted into it, like deliberately, not like the twig of the sweet berries that isn't crafted, or I don't know, that would actually be like the only example, because that's what you don't eat, but it still exists in the item. And for example, with stews and soups, you get all that back, which would be the bowl. You don't obviously eat the bowl. And with all drinks, you get the bottles back, except if you break it, of course. Which is the reason for why you should get sticks back, because it's like the only thing that is actually on a stick. Well, carrots are on a stick, but you cannot eat them. They're probably in combat. Actually, they're probably here. Yeah. What the hell is that? And that. This. And why is weight? What? I haven't even seen all of those. That is crazy. I should listen to these at some point. In any case, these are the ice creams that we have. And in my opinion, they do not look great. This one, I'm okay. I'm okay with this one. I'm also okay with this one. I think. It looks really smooth. This one just looks like snow. This one looks really smooth. This one just doesn't have any texture. This one just doesn't have much texture. And this one is just looks like Minecraft 1.8. Yeah, I think this one looks pretty decent. Also mainly because it has... Because it has such... You know, the low contrast on the pixels. The blue pixels, the blue diamond pixels, they have like low contrast or low variation to the actual color of the ice cream itself with transition pixels, which actually I think sells the deal more as being a texture that is like uniform and not just pixels drawn on a snowball. I think it sells it better. Also, I drew this texture by hand. It's not just the snowball texture, I actually redrew it just with the same colors. This one, same thing with magma cream. I just tried to get the fire similarly done as for magma cream, and I think I got that done decently, I would say. I feel like the outline isn't as strongly pronounced as here, but the rest of it looks pretty decent. Then, well, the Gastier Swirl ice cream was designed on a gas here. Why am I falling asleep? It was designed on the gas here, and what color? Some blue ass color. And I think it needs more texture. I believe it barely has any color variation. Oh, it does. It does have color variation. However, the color variation is really, really subtle. And you can barely see it. And I feel like it doesn't blend in well enough with the swirls around it. That's like the main point I have. So I will look at that, and this also, the color variation is not visible enough. This doesn't feel visible enough. Also, the darker outline is like, why did I make it brighter for these two? I don't even get why I did that. Because both of these have a darker outline. Not continuously, but on most places they do. I mean, this one very consistently has a darker outline. So we need to look at these two. Are pretty fine in my opinion. I will probably leave them. This one needs more. The texture needs to be more dynamic. It feels like it's just painted swirls on top of an already existing texture that wasn't very good to begin with. So not only do we have to make the swirls blend with the texture more, we also have to make the texture have potentially more contrast in its colors, even though maybe blending in the swirls can already fix that. And we need to make the outline dark. I think we'll use the bottom pixels here and just mostly surround everything with those. And we'll try to blend the other stuff in a bit more nicely. And then this needs a, well, almost full recolor. So if we look at other textures, of course I've done all the, wait, can I just go to everything to search and scroll all the way down? Oh no, it's not sorted like that. Okay, good. It's sorted probably by, I don't even know what, by categories probably, or what do I know. In any case, these are fine. They're just eggs. There's not much I can even do about those. Then I don't actually have any building blocks that I've added. I did add natural blocks, which has the, well, this one doesn't actually exist. It's just an example block that I've added. It's a non-gravity block, so I can have an example for that. I should have maybe not called it candy block, because it doesn't actually exist. So the sugar block, I think the texture is pretty decent. I like it personally. I've not looked at it that much. I mean, it's just this, but I think it flows. I think it works. Like, if you would tell me this is sugar, I would probably believe you. Now, if I went like crazy, I could make physically correct, like sugar water physics. What do I know? What even is this? Also, never used these. Like the new flowers, even though they look really cool, but I've never used them. Right, so on their ingredients, we have the fermented glowstone, which I think is okay. The other foods, I think they look pretty good. Personally, I really like the melon drink. I think it looks nice. I think it looks really nice. The gravel and the other non-very edibles, foods are pretty decent. I think this one looks the best. The mud soup is like mud stew. Mud soup, okay. Mud soup. Grass stew, mud soup. And coarse dirt stew. Coarse dirt stew sells, I think, that it is just dry as hell. It's literally just scooped up dirt. Sandwich, I think, looks pretty decent. It does seem like it's tilting and probably falling over soon. Not looking all too bad. I think the gravel sandwich could maybe use a bit of shadow on the gravel. But I'm not sure. Not sure if I can want to do that. I will have to look into that. But I think so far we need to remake these two. Then, what else did I add? Combat. Ooh, if we get finished with these two textures, which we will definitely be able to do in the next hour, there aren't actually any other things that I've added, are they? There really isn't much I've added. I mean, the eggs, okay, there's a lot that I've added. It's many food, as you can see, and I think most of these textures fit pretty well into the game. This one looks perfect, I think. Yeah. So what we'd have to add next is probably the two elemental swords. However, I can only really add these as placeholder items because I again forgot to continue reading, and as far as I know, the books I'm referencing for this mod, or that I'm very closely following, just with tiny artistic freedom, very small artistic freedom, for example, that I gave the watermelon drink the power to remove nausea upon drinking, which is a very rare effect in any case. But it does that, I guess. And I did also completely make up all the crafting recipes, because I don't think there is any crafting recipes mentioned so far into the book. For the more advanced items, these will eventually be mentioned, but there will also be a lot of new things that I have to add, and it will be an overwhelming amount of things, in fact, because I did read all the books to a certain point already. Also, let me get out of the game and actually make these two textures so we can get somewhere here. So the two textures, I will just open these and then make those under item, and that would be the last year's swirl ice cream, and we also need, how was this one called? The creeper crown. Yeah. Good. So we have both of these open. I will edit these a little. Okay, that is interesting now. Alright, so this is weird. You know how what? I've never had this happen before. I now also see the textures deep fried. Why is that the case? Their program just deep fried itself. Can I just open it over here? It's literally just deep fried. Because of my HDR. That is absolutely crazy. I have to turn off HDR now. I just turned off HDR. Alright. Apparently the only way I can fix this is by turning that off, which is weird. I've never had that happen. Still need to make my headset more comfortable. This is absolutely annoying. Alright, let me open them again. And the ghost swirl as well. Right, so let me look into these again. Now on paper, or well in the program, they do look pretty decent. And I think the way we're going to do this is we're going to actually use a secondary layer. We're just going to lower transparency here, and I think by just playing with the transparency value here until we have like a transparency that works for this. Now with this I can work relatively well. It does add a very high amount of like stray colors, I would call them, which isn't optimal, but it's like the only way I can do this reliably or like in a quick manner. Yes, I now have like a million different colors in this image, which isn't optimal for Minecraft textures, that is for sure. I'm not sure with these. We have, well, these are actually two different colors. I am not tripping then. So I need like more different colors. There's this, these are the same. It's again darker one. Now over here I can probably leave this melting piece potentially intact, but I want to extend the outline here. I think that's That outline is just too thick. If we look at the other textures, they all have like single pixel outlines that aren't like doubled down. I think what we need to do here is we need to make these brighter. I need some of these in-between colors. Like now we have that. So these actually do need to stay brighter, because that's where the swirl goes through. Probably needs to look something like this. Now, these don't really have transition pixels. So I might need to make some of my own. This is a relatively messy texture now. But I think it doesn't look all too bad. I think if we use like this transition technique here, like different colors and transition into the swirls like that, then I think it actually works pretty well. See, one of these has to stay like darker. Then we make this, we extend this. Then we potentially delete this. Maybe we extend this one as well. Mm-hmm. I think this texture actually looks... Now it is different on the stream again, because now the colors are off in some way. I do not know why that is the case now. This is something that I've noticed. It must have something to do with the color space, but I'm not really getting it, because the color space that I'm recording and streaming in is not, it's like the default one. I'm not changing anything, and technically this should be correct, but the colors seem to be, for some reason, they seem to be more dark and a slight bit more dull on the stream, on the video feed, then I have them in... Why does this always happen? It's like this is not full screening entirely, but when I actually pull the texture over to the screen that the video feed is on, it just literally looks different. There must be a difference in the color space that is so noticeable. I don't know, or maybe my external monitor has just gotten a massively different color space. Also, hello there to the to all of the viewers on YouTube. Apparently making ice cream textures is profitable on here. So wait, what pixel did this change? I'm not sure. This must have been one of these. Who cares? I think this texture is decent now. looks pretty decent. Yes, the outline does have a bit much variation, maybe. Also, does this drip, is it justified that this is dark here and this is... Like, it's also weirdly in a different color. That's something I'm not entirely sure about. That's something I'm really not sure about. Because I could technically make the drip the same white as this, but then it would probably look a bit weird as well. I don't know, maybe we want to transition that from like this blue here. Of course, wrong layer. From this blue here. Might be it. We'll have to look at it in game. But I will first of all merge these and save that. Then this here. Going to be a difficult one because I don't think I can just go with I mean, this obviously doesn't work. I mean, I would mask the stick in any case, but we go to... Where the hell is it? This brightness and contrast. If I up contrast, you can see that there is barely any. Like, we're pretty much on black and white territory now, and the contrast in the ice cream is... why does this give me better contrast? Ironically. So what I have to do here is just like, I don't know, go on a very low setting here and just change these. It's like you shift them, or what do I know? If I do this, it will be very noticeable, of course. Saturation? Higher sat? Is that it? This looks very green now. Just needs like a slightly different color. Maybe just two in a different color. And then we try and make the outlines relatively dark. This should all be the same color. In fact, it is. So we'll use these two and we'll try to just go around this entire thing. I like this much more, in fact. Now we just need like... This should be like a slightly brighter color. This is what I wanted to see, but it's not the right thing yet. Maybe this. I think it already looks better. Maybe contrasting this, like 102 saturation, maybe. Like now it is really green. But I believe this is... looks pretty decent. I believe it looks pretty decent. We will try this out in-game. And we'll see how it looks, because I think the Gust... No, the Creeper Crunch ice cream, so the green one I just did. I think this one had... like, it needed that desperately, the dark outline. I feel like it just looks... worlds differently if it has dark outlines instead of bright ones. Because it's just... I don't know. Wow. This texture looks so much more smooth. And this one, it actually looks pretty decent now. I feel like it looks decent now. Obviously now the color space is different. And I'm looking at them on a non-HDR display. They look darker. They look less... They pop in another way. Because they're both slightly darker. But the color hasn't really gone, they're just darker. Like they've just slightly shifted in color space. They were slightly brighter, both of them. But this is the case for any texture. Actually, I believe many of these. Yeah, this one's very noticeable to me. For example. The other ice creams, like I don't know what it is, but I just... You know, I obviously have my color space set. No, not my color space. My brightness is a 35. 35. And I could put it to 0 and like, I believe like 20% would be about nice to look at. And I could go to 100. And it is just not comfortable to look at. I've had it at 35, and even that is not comfortable to look at. I don't know, I'll put it to 30 because it's just too bright. I don't know, with the HDR it looks... It's less... Probably because... hello? Why does it react so poorly? I think with HDR this is less because darker colors are darker. And, well, brighter ones are brighter, but mainly the darker ones are darker part. It's also barely noticeable because there's no real black on most things. So anything that is slightly off from black will be a lot more contrasty. In any case, I can see the mud in the mud soup much more clearly. This looks much more red. I feel like the other one looked slightly more pinkish. This one looks extremely green. This looks extremely green. And now what I haven't tested, of course, is does the ice cream reward you with a stick after eating it? So in /game mode survival, you can obviously not eat those. Did I make them not always edible? That is stupid. So I will have to quickly put this to like easy or something, and we will gain hunger. Just need a little bit of hunger so I can eat one of the ice creams, because I'm too lazy to look at my code. And because I've managed to figure out a way I can do this with every item very reliably, I will obviously try to implement it into my ice cream as well, because I feel like it makes sense. You're not eating the ice cream stick. Often it is the thing that has most taste about the entire thing. But why am I not actually getting hungry? Yep, there we go. It does reward me a stick. I already did that? I already added that? Didn't know I already added that. Didn't know I already added that. So this means the ice creams are fine. The um interesting. The rocket potion. I still believe it's too OP. It might just be. Also, I believe it is impossible to jump twice. If you land flat, it is possible to jump twice. If you perfectly time it, you can use it twice. But realistically, obviously, you would die from this jump. But it's a really cool potion. So, I think the textures are fine now. I really do like them. They're all unique in their own way. The Creeper Crunch melting as exposes that it is white on the inside and has is like green on the outside. The Gas Tier Swirl shows us that, well, it doesn't clearly show the same thing as the Creeper Crunch does. But it has a very unique effect. The magma ice cream actually melts on the top as well, or maybe this is a reflection. I'm not really sure what I thought about this. You'd have to ask me from like 3 months ago or whenever I started this. And at the bottom it also reveals its insides, which are slightly more yellowish because the ice cream is fiery theme, so I made the inside slightly yellow. And the what was it, the diamond ore chunk, exactly, it's like a snowball. It is uniform. It doesn't really have an inside. It's just everything the same. However, the recipes do not actually feature sugar or anything that would add flavor to the you know yeah, they just, I don't know, they just are what they are. I believe they look pretty decent in any case. But fact is, they wouldn't taste like anything, I believe. Not taste like any. If we look at the recipe, for example, diamond ore tongue ice cream, it's snowball, a stick, and a diamond, which is ultra expensive. If we look at the Creeper Crunch ice cream, it is snowball, stick, gunpowder, and lime dye, which is still extremely expensive. Like, these are really expensive things to make. The magma cream ripple, snowball stick, and magma cream. Now, this one might not actually make sense, because magma cream is an item that I would consider to be relatively warm. Not lava, but it's magma. It's a cream, so it's not. No, I wouldn't say it as hot as lava, but I think it's still very hot. So if you mix this with a snowball, which has like a thermal, I forgot how this is called in English, thermal mass, potentially. That is so much smaller. I mean, its mass in itself is probably much smaller. It is. I mean, a snowball is really light because it's frick. Its density is very low because it obviously has a lot of air in it, and if you compress it fully, it would still not be very heavy and would probably just turn into water due to, you know, pressure and heat, all that shit. While magma cream is made from stones, molten stones, what I would guess, so it is probably relatively heavy, and it probably can you know, contain more energy. And you know, if we would mix these two even in equal ratios in their weight, we would still probably get a boiling solution that is probably actually the snowball would just evaporate if it came into contact with the magma cream. So I'm not sure here, but I don't really know. I mean, if it exists, it exists, and I could have also just used 3 different dyes to imitate the color of magma, just like red, yellow, and green dye. But I felt like that would be absolutely stupid. In any case, the custom ice cream doesn't actually exist, does it? Under custom, we have custom drink, custom stew, and we have custom ice cream. Does every single ice cream have this new custom ice cream item? In fact, it does. I am very proud of myself for doing this. So now I still have like about half the stream is over. Realistically seen, it's more than half the stream that is over. No, not realistically, but theoretically speaking. But realistically, I will probably do a longer stream than I intended to do. So is there like actual dirt on my screen, or is this? Why is there a minus before the now? What is this? Why is it displayed like this? This looks really weird. It's because of now? No. Anyways, let's try to do this. I do not know anything about adding weapons. So instead of watching the tutorial, I will probably watch what was I saying? Keep losing my train of thought. I will look at the files on GitHub instead of watching the actual tutorial because it's faster that way. So if we look at this real quick, god damn, this is bright. If I turn on HDR again, does it feel as bright? Actually, it's brighter. Just has less contrast. That is extremely weird. Yeah, it really is. This is also something that I don't know, can we change this? Can we turn off ambient mode? Thank god we can, because this makes my entire thing lag like crazy. Ambient mode is like hell on earth. Not only ambient mode, I probably need to switch to Chrome or something. I don't know. Firefox is... While I did always enjoy Firefox a lot because it has some, I don't know, I guess innovative features and all that shit that I probably never used. It's really heavy on the graphics part. Since like about a month or two ago. Since pretty much this year. No, probably a bit later. But currently my Firefox is... I look at the names of the programs that are open. If I sort by name, my Firefox is currently using... Also, why is the task manager so freaking slow? I swear to god, it cannot be this crazy, task manager. Are we serious? It cannot sort by name. What is this? Is my task manager actually crashing? There is no way. Oh my god. I did it. Oh my god. Oh my god. I don't know if I was frozen on stream for like a solid 2 minutes now. But in any ways, my laptop almost just freaking gave up on life. Like literally. I'm not even joking. Why is OBS using 50% of my GPU? This is also unusually high. In any case, Firefox is currently using almost 1.5 gigabytes of RAM. Just existing on this page. If I will run this video, it just goes up by like 20%.
For 121 with Fabric. 121 Minecraft modding courses available.
In fact, it goes up to 30%, but that is still not as bad as if ambient mode is on, because if I have ambient mode on, and I'm not joking, like currently my entire browser window is still lagging. Like you could see this even on stream. I'm smoothly scrolling this and it just has like bumps in it. And it just doesn't feel good because even like a literal Microsoft Edge is being faster. But let's not rant about how bad the new Firefox updates have been. They're literally just adding AI instead of fixing their lag, which is probably also caused by the AI. Or well, it's definitely not helping that for sure. So no, this is definitely not the right file. Source main. Where should this be? Where should this actually be? We're in the source main, this minus mod, and then there should be mod items or something. There's literally nothing. Oh, because I'm on the first... I didn't actually go to the right tutorial yet. I am stupid. So there should be custom weapons somewhere. There, custom tools.
Let's dig.
Whoa. Is this the right one? It's custom. Oh, this is probably the right. Alright. We'll go to the GitHub. So, under source main, there should now be... In fact, there is. Mod items, for example. Me Bomber. Wow, this is really interesting. So this is overriding a lot of things. Actually, all the different things. This is interesting. Now, why is this interesting? Well, it is mainly interesting because we need to make this happen. Or I wonder, the crafting recipes. No, this is... Also not here. Of course. Where is this? Can this be under resources? There's no recipe. No recipes. There's literally no recipes in this thing. Shouldn't there be recipes? This is a 17-minute tutorial. So creating, what are we creating? We are creating custom tool tags. Tool materials. Custom tools. Textures. Data gen. This is very interesting. Very interesting. I will look into my file here real quick because this is suspicious. Right, I've added pretty much everything except for a literal boss mob, a literal massive fishing rod that the boss mob possesses, which has a new enchantment as well as level 7 sharpness, which obviously doesn't exist, only up until 5. Then we have obsidian sword, glowing red metal sword that is of elemental nature and is made of lava, and it belongs to Herobrine. So this combo in itself of the red metal sword, the glowing red metal sword, is like, it's this is unheard of. Because how am I going to literally make a sword that is made from lava with an elemental nature? How even does an item have nature? Like, I would have to make like a custom visible NBT thing, like I don't even know if this is possible. It probably is. You can give items like a line of text underneath their name, so I could add that there. So it would be the glowing red metal sword, so that would be an epic item, or maybe even higher than that. So it would have to have a different color, probably purple color or something, while it has elemental nature. Oh, it's not elemental nature, it's not, I'm stupid, it doesn't have nature, it has like an elemental nature, so it's nature colon elemental is probably what's going to be written underneath its name, as just an info that you do not have any use of, because I can add things that are of elemental nature, or I don't know what other natures would there even be. I couldn't think of anything. Maybe redstone, or I don't know. But if this is elemental, then we just have that info, it's elemental, cool, but it wouldn't change anything, it's just a line there. Then there is another potion that I could attempt, but it has 5 levels. And effectively what it does is it gives you absorption. I think. Very very interesting, because I do not know what I would even add now. The sword tutorial takes quite a while because we have, this is a really difficult thing. We're not actually actively adding something that is, you know, we're not actively making a full set. I don't even know if we're making full set of tools, because obsidian already exists in the game, which is logical, I think, to most people. But is it is it all tools? I would have to read into this further, because if I add a new class of tools, mod tool materials, right, for obsidian, then we'd have the option to make all obsidian tools. However, I do not know if all obsidian tools ever existed in the book, and I do not want to add anything that is not mentioned, or that or that is very, very likely to exist. For example, I added a cooked spider leg, which obviously suggests that there's also a raw one, because a spider doesn't come cooked. The spider gets cooked by you, I guess. It's not cooked while it's living, so there must be a raw spider leg. This is what I mean. This is basically like 99% likely that there is a raw spider leg. Except if the only way you can get a spider leg, a cooked spider leg, is if, I don't know, lightning, or you directly burn the spider or something like that. But that would also not make any sense. In any case, spiders do now drop spider legs. I did that, add that to the mod, and it's relatively likely, in fact. I mean, it's not that unlikely. Like, it's not a rare item. It's relatively common. I think I made it about as common as string. Or spider eyes. I'm not sure. Either of them. I think. Yeah. So, This is stupidly difficult. If I look through this, he's adding. First, we have items, blocks, item groups, which I should probably do, but I will do at a later point. And then we have loot tables, which I've already done. Recipes and loot tables. A loot table I've already done. Ooh, actually, there is one loot table that is missing. Because blocks effectively need loot tables.
Let's add
A
customers.
19-minute long bar. Oh no, and if there is a comment that explains everything in such explicit detail. No, no, no. There's a large comment with a lot of likes that explains something that was changed in 21.4. We're in 21.9, so this affects me. Yeah, this is not great. This is really not great. Wait, ingredients no longer need to be curly brackets. Is he lying? He is not lying. That is interesting, but why did I do that right from the start? Crafting recipes were literally explained in one of the first videos. This is very interesting, and it doesn't make much sense. Because this is already the case. Wait, this is the only thing he explained? The crafting? Did I do that? Without knowing? Was this like such an easy fix that I literally read it here? That cannot be the case, bro. So, this would be... Wait, I need to look at the actual thing here. Custom recipe, vanilla recipe, seeing recipe, or blocks, prep, or loot tables. Adding the custom loot tables for our custom blocks. Now this is what I'm interested in.
You always need to do this, and when you actually have done this, now we can add the loot tables. Now when
you have done what?
You always need to do this in order to be properly mined. And this will always need to be the case. You always need to do this, and when you
Wait, really? What? But what does it mean?
So that is why it doesn't appear here. And then here you can also do a needs, and you can see it needs diamond tool, needs iron tool, needs stone tool. So those would be the 3 different tags where you can add your custom blocks to in order to define what the minimum level is that they need in order to be properly mined. And this will always need to be the case. You always need to do this. And when you actually have done this, now we can add the loot tables. Now, when it comes to the loot tables, I will be copying those over. Now you might be saying, I know
Interesting,
that a
yeah.
lot of people are like, oh, I don't like it when you copy stuff over. You will see why in just a second. So in the data tutorial mod folder now, so we're going to close the Minecraft folder. So data tutorial mod, we create a new directory called loot_table, and then the loot_table directory,
Yeah, interesting.
another new
Interesting.
directory called blocks. ID, that's going to be, as you can see in just a second, this is the pink garnet block, the pink garnet deep slate ore, the pink garnet ore, and the raw pink garnet block. Right, the normal ones look like this, and you could say, well, that's not too bad when it comes to contents, and I would tend to agree with you. You know, it's really not that crazy. And however, the thing about it is that when you have blocks that literally drop themselves, this is always what they look like. This is basically the absolute normal loot table, and you literally just change the name right here of the block that you want to drop. Now, one note, of course, is that the names of these loot tables have to match the names of the blocks themselves. That is very important as well.
So, if I understood that correctly, I am not really sure. Because he explained the thing here.
What we do is we can simply select all of _tool.json. Now that we already
I want to see where you add the pickaxe thing.
axe.json, and this looks kind of like this. We're gonna have a
Hey,
replace
explain,
value, and
tell me
that's
the
going to be
magic.
false. And then we're gonna have a values list right here, and this values list, that is exactly what is going to, well, contain all of the different blocks from your mod that can only be mined with a pickaxe. In our case, it will be tutorial mod : and then pink _garnet block in this case. We can actually duplicate this 4 times because we also have a raw pink.
Okay, but it's not... This is sugar. Obviously, you would mine a massive pile of sugar with a pickaxe. However... No, not with a pickaxe. Am I stupid? With a shovel. So... you would make the optimal thing be a shovel. But... it's not only mineable with a shovel. So, this is the issue. How do I make it not only mineable using a shovel? I want it to be mineable using everything. So, it should be in none of these lists, because it's not mineable with any specific level of tool. But it's best mined with, obviously, the highest level and highest and most shovelly tool, of course. So this is a bit weird because I have no idea how I can do this, and if it is maybe in the block, not the it's sound group sand, but it's not. Not sand. I will also call this example block for easier remembering of what this even means. So I will just try adding a loot table, because this technically should work, I guess. It's under the data, then minus mod. So this is data. Wait, what? Data minus mod. Right, so we need a new shit here. New directory called loot table. And then underneath this, we need another one that is called a block. Blocks? Blocks. Good. And here we need a new file that would be called sugar block.json. Now, I have this open, of course, so this would be data. Where the hell is data? There, I'm under the wrong tutorial. GitHub repo. GitHub repo. Source main, please. And now we need to resources data and then the tags block and then mineable. No, we need this loot tables. Just one loot table. No. Wow, this is difficult. Yeah, no, it's so difficult, it's just much more. So we will paste this. And now this is obviously minus mod. And that would be the sugar block. Now technically, what the hell does this even mean? It's probably only drops if... No, I actually don't get it. Alright, we will run this and I'll see if it drops. Now because it doesn't have a mineable, I would expect it to work always. I would expect that. If my expectations are correct, we will see now if this crashes. Did not crash. So that is very nice. So let's see. Let's actually see. I mean, if this works, we're already quite far. Because if I place this, right, and I switch me to survival, it just works. Right, so now I have two of you. So if I just slash give myself a... What the hell? A shovel. Just like any shovel. Just like let's give myself a diamond shovel. I am not able to mine this any faster. However, it always drops. So this is interesting, right? This is interesting. Very interesting, in fact. Because that means it's working. That's good. But now I just need to find out how I can make it be mineable faster. But not only with a shovel. So this is... So So I do not have anything that is currently there to help me, so I'll try to use something, find something else. Just asking chat. Obviously, not the most ethical way to do this. Root tables. Oh, this is literally the way you do this. Then he's just said it in a slightly confusing way. So if I look at this, there on the data Minecraft tags block mineable. So data, sources data. We have sources data. Of course we do. Zip these in. I currently do not need them. Sources, source. The data minus mod new Minecraft. Right? Do I have this right? Resources, data, source main resources. Okay. Needs to be directly under data. Refactor that. Now we need a new directory that is called tags. Then it needs another new directory that is called block. Then it needs another new directory. Why does it need so many directories? Good. Then we need another new file that is called shovel.json. And this file needs to contain this code that I've asked chat to generate, which is this code here. And that obviously the same as in the mod. Sugar block. So this should be it. This I know. Yeah, no ask you to do that. Okay. Good. Replace false values, so this is like the exact same. We'll try it. We'll just try it. And if this works, then perfect. Because once this works, then I have everything added that I've wanted to add, and I have everything... No, not everything that I've wanted to add, but I've implemented everything that I wanted to implement into all the stuff that I added already. So it's all cleanly added. Why is it running that twice? Why is it running the game twice? I want it once. Stupid. So I've placed it. Now I also need a shovel. A shovel is going with something that is relatively fast. And I also want sand to compare. So if I now go to survival, we have sand, we have this. Oh my god. It literally works. And the coolest thing, it still works like this. And it's gravity. It just feels like it's less... maybe that's just... it probably just feels like it's slightly less responsive. What I wanted to say. So it's working, it's breaking, it's getting mined faster with the tool. So that is absolutely perfect. Yes, perfect, birds, perfect. So now that we all this implemented correctly, these should all be implemented correctly. These are the... I don't have any tools. Redstone neither. Functional blocks, of course not. Sugar should be correct. This example block obviously is not implemented because it's just an example block. However, the first block that will most likely be implemented is, I would strongly suggest it is either a something very random, or it's going to be blocks of the new biomes that are mentioned in the 4th book, I think. Potentially even still in the 3rd, but I think in the 4th book they're adventuring somewhere where there is mentioned to be... I don't know if this is mentioned or if this is seen, but there's large trees, I think large bluish colored trees, or very blue actually, I think, if I remember this correctly. In any case, I obviously want to add those, so there would be new wood types. Of course, everything from a wood type. If you look at one single wood type, this is all there is, just oak wood. So, on the first mention of a new tree, I probably have like 3 weeks of worth of work at least. Just, I mean, of course, these are all just blocks that don't have any very special attributes. The stairs and slabs, they're obviously a bit different. Fences, fence gates, they're just models. They're not actually new textures. These all use the same texture. Doors, I could expect these to have their own quirks, as well as trapdoors, treasure plates. probably relatively simple. Buttons probably too. Now I do know though that there are hello and welcome. Chat has been really dead today, in fact, for there being so many people. So yeah, these like interactable blocks are probably going to be a bit funny to add. The thing is, these also need new sound. So I'd either have to recycle sounds from an existing tree or wood type, because they don't all sound the same. At least like doors and fences and all that don't all sound the same. Actually, I'm not sure about fences, like fence gates, but I'm very sure about the doors. Right? Or am I tripping? I thought doors all sounded different. If I take an oak door, the default is the door. What spec? I take like two very different doors. Oh, goddamn, they do all sound the same. The doors all have the same sound? No. Cherry wood? Cherry sounds different, see? Cherry sounds different. And I could expect bamboo. Yeah, bamboo sounds different as well, so they all sound different. That is interesting. So I could probably just recycle, like there is already blue wood. This is what I meant. These do sound a lot different there. In the core they're all the same. All the original things that were implemented before the texture updates and all that, they all sound the same. I think. Maybe this one sounds different? No. Literally all the old doors sound the same. Ooh. That is a very good question, and there is yeah, this is not a PC. I'm streaming from a laptop, but I also have a PC. It's just slightly worse. But my laptop has an RTX 3080, obviously Max-Q, which is the mobile variant of the 3080, or well, all the graphics cards mobile variants are called Max-Q, if I'm not mistaken, or they're called mobile sometimes. This is also the higher powered variant. So there's, I think, two for the 3080. This is the stronger one. It has like 80 watts peak or something. I'm not sure. Then I have Ryzen 9 5000. What is it? 5950, 80. I don't know. Can't you see that in here? Yeah, 5980HX. Then we have there the RTX 3080 laptop GPU. That's what it's called. Like, I guess it's called. There's like 5 different names for the mobile GPUs, and 32 gigs of RAM. Yeah. And my PC is just slightly worse in the fact that it has like an i7 10th gen, I think, a 2070. Ti. Not sure if it's a T. Is there a Ti? I'm not sure. 2070 of some sort, and 16 gigs of RAM. So it just has, it's like slightly worse in every way. But I use it as a host and for other coding projects. No, it's not correct. It's just a coding environment of 1.21.9. So it's a little janky. It's also not running very smoothly because it's not in full screen and all that. And I'm screen recording and not game capturing, so this is all a bit weird. But it's not cracked, but I believe you don't even need to own Minecraft in order to use it in this coding environment. Actually, I'm not sure, do you need Minecraft to run the coding environment? Because I've never tried it, obviously. I don't have this installed anywhere where I don't have Minecraft. But yeah, it's legit. So anyways, I should commit this. What even did I do? What even did I do? As I said, it's worse, and also it's actually easier to stream from my laptop because I have an external screen. Obviously, I couldn't use the PC without one, so I have a monitor. However, because the laptop also has... Oh, you mean like this? No, that would need a capture card, and because I also record in 4K 60, I need a capture card that is worth like $300. It would obviously give me a noticeable performance increase, but I'm not sure if I'm ready to pay 300. Well, actually, maybe I should do that at some point. They are probably getting cheaper by the day. But a 4K 60 capture card that has the pass-through to allow me to still see the things I'm working on in at least 144 hertz would be nice. And I'm not even sure if the one capture card that I have in mind right now supports this. Also, it's PCIe, so I'd have to do some janky cable setups. I don't even know if it's possible to use it on a laptop to a PC. I think it should be though. Yeah, no, that was a stupid thought. No, that should work because PCIe is only needed on the recording device and not the streaming device, the output device. But it's janky a bit. I'd have to use 2 cables, obviously. Then I don't know if it also still supports HDR if I do this. There's things that I've never looked into. But if I could do that, I would definitely do it. It's just takes a lot more work to set up streams, if streams crash, to change settings, and I'd have to control OBS from a different PC that I'm working on. My old mobile. Ooh. Why would anything have happened to it? Or if I'm understanding you correctly even. I don't know. I'm for some reason very sleepy. Also, my stream is... Oh, shit. Yeah, the stream quality is going to drop massively right now. Why ever? Don't know. Oh, it should be fixing itself now. So this was the ice cream. The ice cream texture. Here. Remake plus what do we have? Sugar block loot table. I don't know why I'm writing these all in caps. Not that important. Ice cream texture remake and sugar block loot tables. Plus obviously the mining thing, but that nobody cares about. Minecraft Java. There probably is a way, but I literally don't have the need for that. I didn't know that it works on Bedrock though. I do have Bedrock Edition that isn't quite legit. I mean, not on PC because it's free, but on mobile. That is interesting. I mean, oh my god, Loopy. I have not seen that name. I've not heard that name in years. Or, well, at least since last year. I am making a mod. A mod about very weird things. That is,
Scared face emoji, scared face emoji, scared face emoji.
freaking hell, scared face emoji. Commit and push anyway. Well, y'all just caught me at a very bad moment because this is... But I'm probably going to end the stream very soon. I'm not really doing anything anymore. But there's a series of books that I have read a few years ago when I was still a kid. Pretty much. A series of books that plays in Minecraft. And I thought they were pretty good, and I still think they're like decent, or they're obviously tailored to a younger reading audience, I guess. But they're not... I think they're like overly edgy, kid-like. They're just written in very simple English. But the thing is, they have a few interesting concepts of new things that some of these already exist now in the game. So the guy that wrote these books predicted a few things. Well, it's not many, but a few. At least as far as I remember. And I am adding all the things that aren't in the game that are mentioned in the book. So why is it not day again? So what I have added so far is there was a mention of a villager being scammed by the main character, who is also a villager, using I think it was that way. It was he was scammed using a lime, or well, a green colored egg that obviously looks remarkably similar to an emerald. Probably maybe not a green one. Maybe it was you know, the lime one obviously looks similar, more similar to the emerald, but in the book it was a green one. Don't know. It's just both green and it has roughly same size. So I guess that's how that worked. That's just one of the things. So I've added all different dye colors as eggs, and they do still work like eggs. Also in all the crafting recipes containing eggs. Then we have fermented glowstone dust, which can be used to create this rocked potion here, which allows you to jump extremely high, for example. Then we have another potion, which is this one. If you drink this, you get the cologne effect, which has rotten flesh because it's a really bad cologne. But if you get the cologne effect, you get basically you get luck. That's the only thing you get. You get luck, which is supposed to increase your luck on loot tables, which is an effect that has already been in the game, but it's not obtainable in survival. So basically this just makes it obtainable. This was like creative freedom. The book doesn't actually mention it giving you more luck or anything, but that was like the best thing I could come up with. Maybe I will change that at some point. Then these are the things, like the most notable things that I've added so far, which is ice creams, a lot of questionable food items, and watermelon drink that works similar to honey bottles in ways of consumption. It just gives you I think half a hunger bar of nutrition, and like it removes nausea. If you have nausea and drink this, you don't have the effect anymore. Then we have again the questionable foods are slime pie, which these all don't have any effects to them. They're just really bad foods. They may statistically not be too bad though, because the cooked spider leg, made from a raw spider leg by being cooked. Actually, I do have a furnace. Did I ever try this out? I don't remember if I ever tried out if you can actually cook the spider legs. Why am I an F5? Can you? Oh, you actually can. Okay, so that works. Then I added a new block, which is the sugar block, which sounds, looks, and behaves a lot like sand, but it's effectively just crafted from 9 sugar. So this is like, it's mostly random stuff that I'm adding now, but that's mainly because I have other stuff that is more interesting, that if I went chronologically, which I did, I just skipped a few things. That if I added those, that would have been very difficult, and I currently do not possess the knowledge and abilities to do that. But boss mobs and elemental swords and all that stuff. There's some crazy stuff in those books. However, I will continue reading this week, hopefully, so I can continue adding more random stuff next week. And I'm pretty sure soon in the book, the main adventure thing arc will start, and there I remember there's a lot of mentions of new blocks. There's whole new trees, so I'd have to obviously make, if you look at that, that was what I was talking about earlier. where is it? Building blocks. If you look at this, I'd have to add all of this stuff for one type of wood, and saplings and leaves and everything. Just a lot of things. Even potentially custom sounds. However, I have never added custom sounds, but there's tutorials for that. So that is, in fact, what I'm doing. That was a very detailed explanation, I think, without actually explaining the main point of what I'm doing. But I'm basically adding everything from a book about Minecraft that plays in Minecraft to Minecraft. In the form of a single mod. And I aim to add everything as accurately to the book as possible, while interpreting and adding logical things. That is in fact pretty cool. I've been working on this since last year, I think. No, I'm pretty sure actually. Like the thing that I've been streaming on for the most part, pretty much since months. I don't actually know why. I should probably stream challenges again, but I still have so many recordings, and I never get to editing them.
Est, up pointing finger emoji, up pointing finger emoji,
Oh no.
up pointing finger emoji, 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 up pointing finger emoji.
Oh my god. Yeah, so that's what happens when you send emojis. I wonder what's the longest emoji, like the longest name of an emoji. Because if someone were to say fill the maximum prompt size of the text to speech with that emoji, I would be absolutely cooked. But I'm sure no one would ever do that. I mean, that could go on for literal minutes. Like, easily a few minutes. In any case, I sadly will have to go now because I don't really have anything else to do. But I have like an IRL project planned with Lumpus, if you still know that guy. And if we actually do that, that would then probably be... We'd probably put that on either... No, definitely pretty much on the Bünzli's channel, and I might make like insights and behind the scenes stuff on my second channel, which tailors more into projects of that manner. Yeah, I know. He hasn't streamed in... No, he literally streamed last week. I cannot pull this one. I think he streamed last week. No, 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago, but he really doesn't ever stream. That was like the first stream in months. I also don't know what he's doing. He's recently... like 2 or 3 weeks ago, for the weekend, he asked me if... Yeah, that was the Valentine's Day weekend. He asked me if we could go somewhere, like karting. Then I said, alright, but it's pretty late already. We could go tomorrow, which would have been a day after Valentine's Day. So he was like, yeah, easy, let's do that. And then when it was that day, at like 6... No, it was more like 7:30. He wrote me, bruh, I don't actually have time today. Sorry, we can't go. And then I was like, you know, I have an afternoon free on Tuesday, and he since hasn't written me. And then during work, during my break at work, like on Friday, he asked me, bro, where did you buy your motorcycle? And like, what the hell? He never even responded to my other message, but he sent me reels on Instagram and sent me snaps, but he didn't answer my freaking WhatsApp message. He also has the message, the read message thing disabled, so I can't see if he's actually read my messages. But either he's seen it too late, or I don't know. He just didn't want to go. But that was a bit weird. In any case, we should probably stream together again. Because this content that I'm doing right now, even though it's like always when I do something for a while like this, when I stream something for a while, there's like a few streams that do really well, like exceptionally well, and if I continue with the same content after those, it will continue to get worse and worse, analytics wise. Thank you for the follow. Wait, you weren't followed yet? That is a criminal. No, but actually, thank you. I will notify about further infos of Lampus next week. Oh yeah, right. You do. Yeah, that's also true. I mean, it sucks with many things. Most things, in fact. I don't even know why I'm streaming on Twitch. You know, Lumpus told me about Kick years ago, and I don't know if he streams on there anymore. I don't think so. He used to stream when he did his Minecraft hardcore things. For that, when he streamed like almost every evening, or like at least multiple times a week. He streamed those on Kick too, I think, because I kept getting notifications. But he didn't stream the last stream on Kick either. And I have stopped doing it because I need to use 2 different streaming services to multiply my streams, which effectively uses double my double the bandwidth, so this is stupid. Yes, but please do not actually spam too many emojis. I want to end the stream. I don't want to end the stream on TTS. Keeping on spamming, like reading emojis. I should really go to bed. It's already 11. What the hell? When have I started streaming? I've only been streaming for 2 hours. This is diabolical. Absolutely diabolical. Yes, exits. You know, I'm actually coding something else too.
Floral diamond emoji, palms up together emoji, ear with hearing aid emoji, police officer emoji.
That's crazy. That's actually crazy. Yeah. So that worked with the emojis. I don't even know if I could... Oops, why did I accidentally closed Spotify. I wasn't even on that screen. Actually, what is the longest emoji name? Let's look this up. What is the longest TTS emoji? Obviously, this is on r/Twitch. Obviously, there is no answer. apparently, the one of the longest emoji names is the. Wait, I can try this out because I can use TTS for free. This emoji here that I've not used in a suspiciously long time. This should be a relatively long one.
Moai emoji.
Oh, they shortened it. They didn't use Japanese stone statue like Moai on Easter Island. But it's apparently often shortened. Apparently. Whoa, I think I found one. The backhand index pointing down. Wait, do we have that?
Down pointing finger emoji.
Down pointing finger emoji. Well, this is. Oh no. Oh, I still forgot to turn down the ads. A break from the ads. Currently, my monthly subscriptions are the same price as always. But, yeah, no, there's really no other thing I can say. They're probably actually more expensive than they used to be. I don't even know how expensive a Twitch subscription is. I've never done one. However, I did get like the only sub I think that I've ever gotten is probably Dan to get onto my server. He told me he'll sub if I give him the server IP. The AB emoji. The AB emoji. I don't know. Probably AB, I guess. AB.
Letters AB in square emoji.
Not bad. Letters AB in square emoji. I wonder, can I say a custom emoji with TTS? Because I've never tried that. If we use TTS... Oh, the TTS cooldown is just too short. Too long, I mean. Need to change that as well. It should be person cooldowns, not generally cooldown. What did I do? Why did I do that? Come on. What did I set as a cooldown? Like 2 minutes? Ah, there we go. What if I use this?
Poetic 49 Kmkfau.
It literally says the emoji name, so I could add an extremely long emoji to just hijack my own streams. An extremely long emoji name that has like one of these TTS breaking symbol things. I'll have to look into this if what is the longest name I can actually give an emoji or an emote. Because I do not think I can go infinitely long. If we go to my emotes tab here, right? So for example, we go to this emoji. I think I can edit this, can't I? Can I edit it, please? Well, why can I not edit it? Or if we add one, can I... How many symbols can I give it? Oh, there really isn't that many. I literally can't. There's a number limit. It's 20. 20 alphanumeric symbols. This is not optimal. Not optimal. I can't infinitely elongate this. The GG emoji is also like a thing I don't even know. Why the GG emote exists. It's like for Twitch emote. I should really just make more emotes. And that my emotes are like so random. Like, I should probably move some of these emotes to the either level 1 or 1000 bits or something. Also, it's very sad that it's Poetic 49 and not 76, because 76 was my my OG prefix. But obviously I can't choose the prefix unless I'm like a massive channel or whatever. Yeah. Anyway, I should make more emotes because it's not worth currently subscribing. I mean, I could literally just move somewhere, right? It's not cool, bro. I could move the eyebrow emote here. Ah, I can't. Oh, you can't add from here to there. We can add from here to there. If I had only 4 here, I could just take Giga Glow. Oh no, that's animated. But I could just take another one up there. So, yeah. Not that I'd ever do that. Probably. But I mean, these two aren't that bad, I think. But I should add some more here. I don't even know how I unlock those two. Probably because I'm affiliates or something. Then these are... These will probably never be reached in any case. But it's like, isn't that stupid? I mean, I know most people will subscribe level 1 and not 2 or 3. Tier 1 and not 2 or 3. That's what it's called, not level, it's called tier. But that's a bit crazy. I mean, tier 1 gets you 5 emotes, and in my case 7 animated emotes.
Ear with hearing aid emoji, 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 ear with hearing aid emoji.
Absolutely crazy how it pronounces ear with hearing aid emoji. It's like always the hearing aid emoji. Anyways, I think it's just crazy that a higher tier only gets you one standard, not an animated, a standard emote, and level 3 as well. And the bits, those aren't even very high bits. I get like, what's 1 bit? 1 bit is worth 1 cent, I think, to me at least. So that would be $10, $50 and $100. That's a very good transcription of how how the TTS do this, saying this. Actually, about the TTS has something to do with my project I'm working on. The main part of that is TTS. And it's also the part I'm struggling with the most, because it's the TTSs are like stupidly difficult to implement in Python projects because of version conflicts. I literally had to downgrade like twice, which is stupid. I don't know why stuff isn't being updated, because this Python version I'm on is like, I don't know, mid 25. Well, that's actually not that old. Or early 25, sure. But just the fact that the stuff also gets incompatible is a bit weird. However, getting a good TTS voice, you know, one that is recognizable if I used it, one that could be kind of connected to my TTS. Like if I were to use a specific TTS voice and people would hear that, they would think that it is the one that I'm using, not just a random TTS. That's a difficulty in the TTS thing, because getting an actual good sounding TTS voice, the TTS programs I'm using is extremely weirdly difficult. Even though they're really good, they're potentially too good. But I don't even know why I'm talking about this. In any case, I will probably end today's stream for now. Streamed slightly longer than expected again, and I really want to watch some YouTube right now, because my sub feed is full of Peak and I should watch it, but those are like half an hour long videos, so I never have time. So I'm sacrificing my weekend sleep to watch some YouTube after the stream. So that's what I'm going to do now. Thanks for having tuned in, Loopy. It was very nice having you on stream again.
Thumbs up emoji, thumbs up emoji, thumbs up emoji, thumbs up emoji.
Also, I should make new TTS notification animations. Like, so many things I should do. So many animations I could make. And I keep running out of ideas what to do on stream. I could just literally make animations or GIFs, I guess. And I think the TTS and the follow one do deserve at least something custom, even if it's just the one specific emoji that I don't even know how it's called. This one. Wait. This specific emoji here. That emoji that I've sent in chat. This one would be kind of funny for the TTS.
Waving hand emoji, waving hand emoji.
Why did they say that like a question? Also, I should make the notifications larger. You can't even see them. Devious. So yeah, I will skedaddle now and I'll be back next Saturday. Yay.